Hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case. Welcome if you're currently here. Today, I have some breaking news to share with you regarding the Dylan Rounds case, more specifically, Justin Rounds, the father of Dylan Rounds, and it ties to Don Hately. Earlier today, managed to get a screenshot of it before it was deleted from the Facebook account. Justin Rounds called out Don Hately again for possible involvement in the Dylan Rounds case. This is not the first time, okay? And what I will be doing today is sharing with you the latest, newest message before it was deleted from Justin Rounds' account, which was public, posted. And then I'll also be sharing with you later on in the video previous post by Justin Rounds when talking about Don Hately, okay? When it comes to the Dylan Rounds case, Don Hately has been talked about here and there, but there's never been a definitive focus on him, right? It's been a little quiet, but maybe today we can get the discussions going once again and see if we can find new information and new leads along the way. As we do go along in this video, be sure to share your thoughts, opinions, and reactions in the live chat, okay? If you haven't already, make sure to check my previous video out. It was Dylan Rounds' 1-year anniversary video. A link will be down below in the pinned comments section down below if you wish to check it. What we can do though is briefly look through the comment section of the last video, answer any questions, see if there's any additional information, and just simply allow people to join on into this live video premiere. And then once that's done, we head into the main focus today, the breaking news. Okay? Here we are, just to the newest. We've only got a small handful of comments to get through. It won't take long. Snook. Is it Snook or Snook? Feel free to let me know. Snook says, "This is such a hard case to investigate." Badger responding, "Very easy in the beginning before your king got involved." Badger is just basically saying it was messy once Jim Terry got involved and /or salty pancakes, one or the other, if not both. And yeah, okay, some people do think that way, maybe quite a few. I don't know the exact figures. But what I would say is, personally, from the beginning, it wasn't exactly easy because from at least Candice Cooley's point of view, the police weren't handling the case correctly and there was a lot of mess there. So whilst there may have not been as much mess on the YouTube side, there was internally, okay? And as time went on, the YouTube side got as messy as the internal side of the case. So I think the case overall has always been a bit of a mess, varying in levels, but was messy all the way through. And maybe here and there it has eased off in recent time, but that does also correlate with certain YouTube channels moving on and others being terminated. So the noise is reduced. So I do understand. What's the next comment? Snook saying, hope Dylan's found. Yep. Sunny, 1 year. Fadine Reed, so sad he worked so hard. Dylan Rounds. Christy saying, did he? There'll be questions around Dylan's work ethic because people supposedly have said that Dylan Rounds was reckless with his farming equipment and the land around. So that's why people are a bit, on the fence about Dylan. Cleo, congratulations, Warlight Ref, 300th video. Q, I think it's my 305th video now on the Dylan Rounds case. Shout out to Cleo last night for her super chat. It's good of her supporting the channel. We got Cleo as well saying, fun, light-hearted way to end the video to a very serious video. Thank you for your help being the voice who can't be here to defend himself like Brenner can. Okay. Arizona Traveler, if you set your content to not made for children, it will stop them from being restricted. Yeah, Arizona Traveler, I did do that back in the past. In the past, there was a rule where you had to do it because if you didn't, you'd get in trouble. So I did it long back then. The whole restriction limited thing is to do with other stuff, right? YouTube are being very judgmental with me at the moment, unfairly as well. Christy B, I was expecting the documentary to come out on the anniversary. Fair point, yeah. Unless it comes out a few days later. But really, there's not really been any talk about the Dylan Rounds documentary. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. Let me know your thoughts. We could do a little poll right now. The poll can be, do you anticipate the Dylan Rounds documentary to be released very soon or delayed? Let me know. Christy also says, I think we got a distorted version of the entire story and the personality of Dylan Rounds from the beginning because of Candice Cooley. I always thought it was to protect her child. Today, I think she probably protected herself more than Dylan. I still miss interviews from Dylan's grandparents and to hear more from Justin. We would have a better understanding of the entire case and Dylan's real personality and attitude. I also miss friends and siblings of Dylan talking about him. Maybe one or two appeared in live chats sometimes under fake names, trying to correct the narrative, but nobody really listened because shitty and illiterate channels with hours-long lives took over and spread more BS than facts, wasting time on discussing unnecessary details instead of trying to focus on the important things. So I guess we will never really know what happened, and it makes me angry when channels like yours, Rafi, get demonetized because you put a lot of hours of work in researching and narrating cases and making videos. You deserve better things for sure, and the Kitty Cat crew will support you. Great discussions in chat today again. Thanks for your time and your work. So that's very good of Christy to say. And the Kitty Cat crew. It sounds good, that name. Yep. Christy B, the architect of it all and the design. Exactly. So, yeah, okay, that's Christy B's point of view to do with Candice Cooley and Justin Round's situation. Maybe with this recent video provided by Jim Terry, it might make people rethink things when it comes to Dylan Rounds being regarded as a golden boy and all good and innocent. You know, I know some people will say that's probably not appropriate in terms of looking at the negative side or the past, but, you know, you got to balance things out. If you don't, but you do with certain people, then it doesn't seem quite right, okay? So yeah, shout out to Christy B. Arizona Traveler, a few more comments. I'm bored watching plays Warlike Wrath. Lol, how goes it across the pond? I guess same as it was the day before and the day before. Not really much to report on. Arizona, see, my channel is restricted to people over 18. Is that what they're saying? And if it is, and you are selecting, okay, will it flag it? You delete my fundraiser for world peace, lol, and won't answer me whilst I watch your content. I'm a loyal supporter here. What? I don't follow. I don't follow. David Bell, well, you have been a very bad boy. Oh, have I? Have I? Ask Betty Hayward. Okay. Looks like we've reached the end of the comments. Fair enough, that was quick. Now, everybody in the chat, everybody watching right now, and those in the background, are you all ready to see the recent breaking news post by Justin Rounds and what he's had to say recently to do with Don Hately? Okay, let's head on over right now. I'll show you the screenshot, analyze, and then go on to the actual Facebook profile. Here is the post by Justin Rounds. You can see the profile picture of Justin in that black top with his cap and beard. The screenshot was taken earlier on this morning, and the screenshot was 35 minutes after Justin Rounds posted it, and it looks like shared with Don Hately. Don Hately being the individual within the Dylan Rounds case at the time, living in Lucin, being friends with Brenner, once working for Dylan Rounds and then parting ways. That's the Don Hately we know, okay? And we have seen some photos of him. He's got a bit of a beard, same size as Brenner almost, okay? But here, Justin Rounds says, if I find out you had anything to do with this, I will be in Casper before you know what is happening. F the cops or FBI. I will spill your guts so fast, you fat beep. I will always be watching you. If the cops want to arrest me, they know where I am. Watch your fat ass. I might be around the next corner. Wow. Wow. This late on in the Dylan Rounds case, a year later, and Justin is still bringing up Don Hately's name. There's a level of significance around that, correct? Now, we do need to acknowledge one thing, right? This is not the first time Justin has responded to Don Hately and called him out. And as said, we'll get into those posts a bit later on. But here, it does seem like there's a level of tension, anger, frustration, build-up of emotion. And what we do need to acknowledge, I understand Justin Rounds in this situation, because this is very near, just a day after the weekend Dylan Rounds anniversary, right? So an emotional time, reflecting back on things, how it's gone, senses, emotions will be heightened, heat of the moment. And that could be explained as to why, since the post was deleted later on in the day, kind of like last time. But we are seeing that consistency of Don Hately being mentioned, and possibly suspicion that he's tied within the Dylan Rounds murder case and disappearance of Dylan. Yet Candice Cooley has not really talked about Don Hately, but Justin, although quiet on the YouTube side, he's making his voice well heard here and there on Facebook. And just to reiterate, this is all public post. It's all public, not private, public. But the post was deleted, maybe because Justin realised, I shouldn't be saying all this out loud. But it gives an idea of what's going on in his mind, how he thinks, how he feels with the case and who could be responsible. So I'll just read it out one more time. If I find out you had anything to do with this, I will be in Casper before you know what is happening. So, Justin, there must be a reason, first of all, for Justin to be looking in the direction of Don Hately, right? As we've heard, Candice Cooley over time hasn't really talked about Don Hately, hasn't really talked much about Kurt Wadsworth either, because she feels those type of people aren't really responsible, involved, that there's no evidence pointing in their direction. But for Justin, okay, Justin can think for himself. He has his own set of opinions and suspicions, but there must be either evidence or a lead, a conversation somewhere which made Justin think, I'm a bit wary of that guy, Don Hately. There's got to be something that happened at a point, like a catalyst, which caused Justin to be on Don Hately's back, right? Let me know your thoughts down below. And it says, Justin, I will be in Casper before you know what is happening. Casper. I did type it in, Casper, and it reveals the location. Some of you in the chat will know where Casper is, but for everyone else that doesn't know, I will share that with you in a second. But for now, hold tight. Let's just finish off reading and analysing this. F the cops or FBI. I will spill your guts so fast. So you could say threatening language in a way, but it is very understandable due to heightened emotions at the time of Dylan's anniversary. You got to understand that, okay? Justin is displaying his emotions arguably more than Candice Cooley, but everyone's different, everyone reacts differently. So it does make sense here with Justin's frustration and emotion. But saying screw the cops and FBI, this feels personal, that Justin wants to be the one face to face with Don Haley to have it out, to have a conversation, an argument, whatever, without any authority being present. Now, does Justin not want authority there? So then Justin has more free will to be able to ask more questions, do more stuff without being punished or restricted, held back? Possibly, yeah. The word there saying, I will spill your guts. Spill your guts. Does that mean on a physical level or more so on a I'm going to make you confess in some way or another? I'm going to make sure I get answers from you, Don Haley, about the disappearance and murder of Dylan Rounds. You're going to answer. So, interesting. I feel another reason to why Justin has said this is because maybe Justin doesn't have as much confidence with the police, the FBI, when it comes to interrogating people in this case, because as Candice Cooley has said, last time when Brenner was properly interviewed by police was at the very beginning, around the 17th, 18th of June, around then, 2022. It's been a long time, right? So if the police authorities haven't been that proactive when it comes to following up on key suspects at the time and questioning them, that didn't happen, then is it going to happen now? Probably not. So Justin wants to be the one that gets the answers. Justin is more action than talk online. Justin is more physical, more hands-on, as we've heard recently with Justin assisting in trying to find Aidan Clune, as well as being out there looking for Dylan too, as well as in the early days, Justin being on a stakeout mission, observing Kurt Wadsworth at Saddle Sore Bar, parked outside, at the same time when Salty Pancakes went down to Montello for the first time ever and drove past and saw Justin's vehicle parked up. All these people in the same spot at once in the beginning. It's very interesting, to be honest. But yeah, the overall tone of this post is a level of aggression, frustration, emotional because of Dylan Round's anniversary, and maybe a sense of suspicion as well, to be calling out Don Haley once again after all these months have passed on. And, Justin also saying, watch your ass. I might be around the next corner. So Justin hinting that he might take a trip down there. He might be on the lookout for Don Haley, waiting for the right moment. You never know. What would that right moment be? To simply confront Don Haley, have it out with him with words and get an answer. It's understandable. If certain authorities over time haven't done the job, then someone needs to do it. Just like with the Montello hostage situation in the early days, 2022, 31st of May, whether it be directly on that day or just a day before, roughly around it, when that call was made by Kurt Wadsworth, at first Candice Cooley said the police weren't interested. They were like, good luck, you, the parents, go down there yourself. We're not interested. And because Justin was annoyed at that, the lack of proactiveness from the authority, Justin said, I'm going to go down there myself, even if it means causing, trouble and all this to get answers. And the police were like, whoa, no. We will go down there. Okay? So you see that determination from Justin Rounds, the focus, prepared, ready, probably more ready than most other people are in this case, which is understandable as well. So I think it applies here once again, right? Don Hately being top on the list, besides Brenner, of possible suspicion as well. Him, involvement in the disappearance of Dylan. Would it be involvement in the murder? I don't know. But in terms of the desecration, yes, there is a fair chance. I mean, Doug, no thanks, has had his suspicion around the possibility of Don Hately helping, assisting. When Doug kept bringing that up, though, in the interview with Candice Cooley, the last one, Candice Cooley was like, well, I mean, I know, well, I mean, not enough evidence. I don't really think that way. With what we know of, it's Brenner and Brenner only. So you see a split down the middle. The mother doesn't really think it's Don. The father, is questioning involvement. One other point I just want to add in, it does say one comment. I don't know what that comment is, whether it be someone responding back or if it was Justin Rounds adding an extra point. Sometimes people do that if they don't include all the words in the singular post, kind of like an attachment piece of text. We can't view it though because, as I said, this post has been deleted since by Justin Rounds, and it's not on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page either. What I do want to say is, just for a reference point so you pick up on it, you see down below some post by a person called Mikey Jessen 10 hours ago. 386s can be cool to Justin Rounds. Just remember that post, just so it reinforces the validity, reliability of this screenshot. What we are going to do now is just briefly go on Justin's Facebook page, and I'll show you what I mean. Here is the profile of Justin Rounds. You can see the profile picture a little bit clearer. Justin in the middle with the black shirt, cap and beard. Okay, just wanted to confirm that. But we just scroll down here. Remember when I said about Mikey Jessen 17 hours ago now, because time's elapsed. Saying 386s can be cool too, a reference to a truck. What I wanted to point out though was that is the latest post here. Down below, 27th of May, adding on from Candice Cooley's from the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page, which we did look at yesterday, okay? Dylan's anniversary, reflecting back on Dylan Rounds as a whole. And that was the 27th of May. And ever since the 27th of May, on here at least, there's not really been any other post besides the one here by Mikey Jessen 17 hours ago. Now, referring back to that screenshot I shared with you, the post by Justin Rounds, that was posted hours after the Mikey Jessen one. As you saw, it was above, and just below it, it said Mikey Jessen, like that. So you can see the proof that the post by Justin was deleted, but it did exist at one point, okay? It does say here that this page didn't load properly, so you may not be seeing everything that was posted. Please try again later. So this tab here, it didn't load properly, must be the post which has been deleted, and it's coming up as like an error code. Okay, fair enough. So, got that all in mind. Be sure to share your thoughts down below in the comment section. What we do need to do now, though, is just refer to the location of what Justin Rounds mentioned of Casper. Let's head on over. So, Casper is a city in Wyoming. Wyoming being a state in the US. And from the way it looks, the post by Justin Rounds calling out Don Haley saying, "I'm coming down to Casper." I guess that implies that Don Haley's location, roughly speaking, has been revealed. That Don Haley now resides in Casper, Wyoming. Okay? Everyone hear that? I'll confirm it once again. From what Justin has said, because he seems to have a pretty good idea, that Don Haley is residing in Casper, Wyoming at this moment in time. So, when we look back, when people were saying Oakley, Idaho, Oakley, that wasn't the correct spot. A few people here and there did say Wyoming, I believe including Linda Cushing, and a couple of others. But besides saying Wyoming, they did not give the name of the city. Feel free to let me know where you got that information from at the time, just out of interest. But it seems like we've been able to successfully narrow it down right now. Casper, Wyoming. Okay. Well, what we can do is have a brief look at Casper, Wyoming later on in this video. So a little description. Just read it quickly. Casper is a city in central Wyoming. It's home to the National Historic Trails Interpretive Center, featuring dioramas and hands-on displays that evoke the journeys of the 1800 pioneers. Contemporary art is on show at the Nicolaisian Art Museum. Fort Casper reconstructed 1865 military post houses a museum with local historical exhibits like a 1901 sheep wagon. South Casper Mountain offers waterfall and ski slopes. So, it depends exactly where within the place, whether it be within Casper, the city, on the outer skirts. You got the mountain range back there. You take that into mind. Little history thing too. Just makes you think, considering that Don Haley was in Lucin, Utah for however long, very quiet, keeping to himself, and then suddenly going to a city, were people expecting that? Or were people thinking that maybe Don Haley got away from Lucin to escape and was hiding elsewhere in a quiet area? Or has he gone to the city to blend in more? I don't know. But before we do continue on to that and look into the city, what we do need to do as a bit of a refresher is look back on the previous post by Justin Rounds when calling out Don Haley back in 2022. Here we are with the past screenshots. Take in mind, if there's any language in a different language, that's just because it was a screenshot taken by another individual from a different country that passed it on to me when covering it at the time. So shout out to the people that did that, okay? So this will be many months ago now, but back then in 2022, Justin Rounds did a post on his Facebook account as well on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page, okay? And I believe the one on his account was deleted first, and then eventually the page on Dylan Rounds, this post was taken down as well. But at the time, Justin said, Jim Brenner and Don Haley are dead men walking. They don't even know it yet. We will all meet God, but they will first, I promise. Now, quite a few interpreted it at the time as the issuing of the death penalty, right? It seems as if at the time, Justin was confident that Jim Brenner and Don Haley were responsible. So they would be locked up and most likely receive the death penalty because it's legal in the state of Utah, okay? Though, fast forward to recent time, what we heard from the 24th of April 2023, the court hearing of Brenner, the death penalty has been taken off the table. So that's no longer in play. But at least back then, that it was a possibility, right? Back then, Brenner was not officially charged, but evidence pointed towards him. And from the looks of it at the time, some form of evidence, some lead suspicion pointed towards Don Hately, hence why Justin was calling Don out at the time. And fast forward to today, 2023, the 29th of May. Or is it 29th? Yeah, or the 30th, whichever date. And Justin is calling out Don Hately once again after this length of time. There must be something pointing in the direction of Don Hately, right? If it was a mistake made in the past, simple state of high emotions, then you wouldn't think it would repeat. But here we are once again. So there must be something going on in the background, right? Jim Brenner, Don Hately, Dead Men Walking, a reference to the death penalty, probably. And I think most people will agree with that. Let's move on. This is the comment section of the post. Justin did respond back to some people. Justin saying, "My promises are not hollow." Does he mean hollow in a religious reference, or should he have meant to say hollow? That they're not hollow, he means what he says. Because if that's the case, and as we heard recent, Justin saying, "I might be around the corner, Don Hately, come on down and spill the guts." Sounds pretty full on, right? Sounds like Justin is on a mission, which is understandable. It does actually make you think. Everyone listen right now. It does make you think, has this happened today? Because it's got to a point where Justin hasn't been able to find Dylan Rounds yet and is starting to think, shit, I need to get answers out of someone so they can reveal the possible location. I'm not going to go to Brenner because we've already rejected that plea deal offer, and I don't want to be making a deal with the devil or speaking to it. So I'll reach out to his side man, which is Don Hately, friend of Brenner, and may have also assisted. You never know, right? Makes you think. Lower down in the comments, Justin says, "If you see this, Don Hately, I will be seeing you sooner than later." Did that actually happen, though, at the time? I don't think it did. Did Justin back then know where Don Hately was at? I don't think so. I believe back then, this post, Don Hately was long gone from Lucin, Utah. So, yeah, maybe it's been a matter of time trying to track Don Hately down. And it's been successful recently. Scroll on. Justin also says, "Let's drain the main line, Donald, you stupid fat beep." Let's drain the main line. The main line being the pivot, Dylan's pivot, the pivot that leaks, flooded, needed maintaining, but Don Hately at the time failed to maintain it. Yeah. Is that what Justin was referring to back then? Like a reference saying, you lazy, incompetent, can't do this, can't do that. Let's meet at this location, what you were supposed to be fixing. You know, makes you think. Justin goes on to say, "Bring all of your family down to the main line, even your gay son." Interesting. Considering Candice Cooley, when referring to the gay reference, the gay theme and topic to do with Dylan Rounds, Candice Cooley thought it was ridiculous and, pushed it to the side. Irrelevant. It's got nothing to do with it. It's not true. And yet Justin is referring to Don Hately having a gay son. I mean, has anyone tried coming up with the idea of what? Don Hately's gay son was in a relationship with Dylan Rounds? Has anyone picked up on that? Doesn't seem like it. So I'm surprised. I thought someone might have started going down one rabbit hole, but looks like that hasn't happened. Anything else? Yeah. Oh, as well, Justin says, "Stoop to that level. I will go to the lowest of the low if that's where I have to go, which is understandable. Desperate measures, desperate actions. If no one else is going to get anything done, if the authorities aren't reacting quick enough, then someone else needs to step in, and that's Justin Rounds. And it's fully understandable. One important point to mention, it shows how driven Justin Rounds is compared to other people in the case. This long on and still saying that he's going to go here or he's going to go there. He's going to get answers from, he may get answers from Don Hately if it turns out it's true that Don played a role. I guess the next question is, what happens next? What's the next factor? Does Justin go down to Casper, Wyoming? Or do they just continue trying to look for Dylan Rounds' remains and possible evidence and leads? As well, considering that in the past, in 2022, when Brenner did call Justin, they had a little phone call conversation from in the prison. Well, in the Weber County Jail, I should say. And Justin, when talking to Heavy D in that interview, said how Brenner was shifting the blame and focus onto Chase Venstra. And yet, from then till now, at least with what Justin Rounds has said, it's not swayed him in that direction. It's not persuaded or convinced him to go after Chase Venstra. Instead, Justin has gone after, or at least just simply called out, Don Hately ever since. That is interesting. Makes you think, did Justin receive some information from somewhere? Did a person reach out and give a tip off? Makes you think, well, just take that all into mind. All these posts by Justin way back then compared to what's been said here as of today, 2023. What we'll do now briefly is head on over to Casper, Wyoming, and just have a very brief look at the area to see what it looks like. Okay, Casper, Wyoming on the screen. Let's click it. We just zoom on out. How far away is it from Lucin? Okay, so it's south of Salt Lake City, is it? Yeah, it looks like it. Salt Lake City over there. How many miles though? Or should we like roughly do it over there? Obviously you'll have to follow roads. It's over like 400 miles easily. Okay, quite some distance. We'll just click that there. So there we go. How big is this city? Fair size from the looks of it. Red Butte Mills, Casper, Evansville. See it highlighted in the red. So that's the whole city of Casper. Fair population from the looks of it. Okay. Now, yeah, one thing what we do have to highlight and question is, whereabout in Casper is Don Hately? Don't know, but we have narrowed it down pretty well, right? Justin must know to an extent, maybe more than us. Yeah, I mean, do you think that Don Hately is living within the city or on the outskirts? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. I mean, you still have desert area surrounding the city. You've got Rotary Park nearby, mountain range, kind of like Lucin. Obviously not as quiet, bigger population significantly, but I'm sure there'll still be some quiet spots. Can we get some just general photos of the area? Oh my. I've just remembered. I know it's kind of off subject right now, but I've seen that horse before or something very similar. Do you remember it? Different location, but do you remember my past video when we were looking at Salt Lake City, but slightly north of it, and we're looking around Ogden? You remember Ogden? and we were looking at pawn shops. And what else was it? I think it was to do with it was to do with Chase Venstra at the time, and we're looking at pawn shops, possibilities of maybe did Chase Venstra steal Dylan's firearm and hand it into a pawn shop to sell, make money? You remember that? And we're looking through every single pawn shop within the area, and on one of the side streets there was a horse on the side, and this looks like the same exact one, but this is in Wyoming. So is there a link to do with the horse, the brand? I don't know. It just reminded me. It's kind of funny in a way. There's that horse there. Dale, don't get distracted, Dale. It's just a statue of a horse. It's not real. It's just a display, Dale. Okay? Don't do anything silly. But I just want to look at these photos simply to get an idea of the area, okay? We can do a follow-up video in the future of it and link it to Don Hately more if that's what you want. But we'll look at these photos to get an idea of the area, the location of what it's like. There we go. If you are from the area, the location, feel free to share your thoughts about Wyoming. How is it? What is it like? Were you aware Don Hately was within the area somewhere? More horses. Why is there so many horses in the area? Big horse, small horse. Maybe Don Hately went down to go to where the horses were because Brenner's horse passed away. I don't know. Interesting. What does that say back there? Absolute fitness. Okay. Like a gym. Looks a bit worn down though. Looks a bit rough. Another horse again. This time a cowboy. Wow. Mountain range area. Decent view. Some plants there. I've seen those plants in the UK. Interesting. More plants. Is that an actual... Oh no, it's just ornament. Can't read that plaque. Eagle against the sun. Right. Some construction work going on there. Rodeo, I think. Yep, cowboy related. Some of the streets in the area. Doesn't look overly busy, but maybe it's just the time of the season and day. Rocky terrain, outdoor area, nature. Long roads. Good view in the distance. Does branch off over that way, looks quiet. So, you know, is it one of those where Don Hately is living in a trailer somewhere in Casper, Wyoming? Or is he living in an actual house? Not quite sure. Candice Cooley said Don Hately was retired. So, does that take in mind? Is there a possibility that Don Hately started working again? Not sure. No harm in throwing these questions about some hunting. Very, very dark clouds there. Looks kind of mysterious and spooky, that. Good photo. And down there, horizon, farmland from the looks of it. Quite a bit of it. Municipal garage, Casper, fire department. Some more plants. Is that it, the photos? Okay, fair enough. As I said, we can have maybe a more hands-on look of the area some other day. Just wanted to briefly point it out for this video. All right, okay. So this is Casper, Wyoming. Got some pawn shops within the area. It does look kind of quiet, even though there'll be a fair population. If anyone can give out stats and figures, feel free to do so. Sure, you'll be able to search them online. But if you just want to throw them out right now, you can do. You'll most likely definitely have bars within the area, neighbourhood too. Does Don Hately have any friends, contacts within this area? Or just by himself? Makes you think. Yeah, interesting. Any of you surprised as to where Don Hately resides in now? Let me know your thoughts. I'm a little bit surprised considering it's a more populated area. I thought he preferred, if he was in Lucin and it was that quiet, you thought he would have continued that elsewhere. But, could well be in the outskirts of the city. There's always that possibility. And you see you got some trailers there. I mean, that would be ironic if it was Don Hately's, but can't imagine that. I mean, would Don be at a trailer park with other people or further afar where it's even quieter? I think further afar. Of course, you may have different opinions, but list them down below. So I strongly feel that this very important video today would have fallen on deaf ears because most people wouldn't be searching for this. So be sure to share your thoughts and additional points down below in the comments section. It would be much appreciated if you like the video, specifically this video, to really spread the awareness of this, what we found today, because what it does seem to highlight and reignite is the possibility that Don Hately could well play a part for this length of time, and yet for Justin to refer back to Don and in a pretty serious tone, there must be something going on in the background. Though it looks like it's taken quite some time, though that suspicion has never left Justin from the looks of it. Yeah, I mean, I did make predictions in the past, roughly speaking, about Don Hately, saying there might be more to come in the future, that his name might get dragged back into it. I was saying that was a possibility Don Hately moving away from Lucin was to escape from the place, like on the run, hide, lay low. Some people were saying that maybe Don Hately is in witness protection, working, assisting with police to reveal information to do with Brenner. Well, from at least Justin Round's point of view, seems to be far from that case, right? Who knows what will happen next, but today it was an unexpected video too. Though it needed to be covered, regardless of the BS from YouTube, I'm still putting this video out, and I just hope that it reaches out to a fair, population of people involved trying to figure out this Dylan Rounds case, right? So I think we'll leave it there for now. As I said, there'll be links down below to check out other areas and previous videos. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, you found it somewhat interesting, and yeah, time will tell to what happens next. But for now, it's time to go. Goodbye and good night.